PSE News Update. January 30, 2023 VLL News. Vista Land and Lifescapes, Inc. Vista Land brings Astera condo series to Mindanao. Leading real estate developer Vista Land is bringing its new Astera series of condominium properties down south as it trains the spotlight on Mindanao's progressive cities. Astera's foray into Mindanao will be one of synergy and collaboration, benefiting both the region and the housing brand, said property tycoon and Vista Land chairman Manuel Villar. With the singular beauty of the island and its rich cultural heritage, Vista Land hopes to build idyllic residential projects such as Astera to match, Villar said. The Astera brand, Villar's personal project, is envisioned as a condominium development that will provide affordable urban living in the suburbs. I believe that now is the best time to give Mindanaoans the quality homes of their dreams, while offering property investors the value proposition they won't find elsewhere in the region, Villar said. To be unveiled in the early months of 2023 are Astera's plans for condo developments that will rise in Mindanao's quiet and serene suburbs. Villar said his vision for Astera is to rise in the outskirts of the metro, in select locales that tout the rapid appreciation of land values. This will, in turn, afford great long-term returns for its future homeowners and investors. In all its developments, Astera will have multiple buildings with 4 to 7 levels, where each unit will offer sleek, space-optimizing interiors that will serve as idyllic domiciles for young professionals and starting families. Megaworld Corporation RLC Robinson Land Corporation News. Consunjus's DMCI and Aboitiz-led Union Bank in RLC and Megaworld out in PSEI. The listed holding company of the Consunji family and the banking arm of the Aboitiz family are joining the Philippine Stock Exchange Index, PSEI, on February 6. DMCI Holdings and Union Bank of the Philippines will replace tycoon Andrew Tan's Megaworld Corp. and billionario Frederick Go-led Robinson's Land Corp. in the 30-member PSEI, based on the January to December 2022 stock performance of the local bourse. To qualify for inclusion in the index considers liquidity, market capitalization and free float level of at least 20% of a company's outstanding shares. We hope to see improved liquidity in the stock market with more shares available from companies that want to remain or qualify for future inclusion in any of the indices, said PSE President and CEO Ramon Monzon. In terms of sectoral indices, Goshennon-led East-West Banking Corp. will be taken out of Financials Index, while Basic Energy and retail magnate Lucio Co's The Keepers holdings will be included in the Industrial Index to replace Vatarich. The Property Index will see the addition of DM Wenceslao and Associates, Philinvest Right, MREIT, and RL Commercial Right. To be removed from the Property Index are Philippine Infradev Holdings and Philippine Estates Corp. Meanwhile, ultra-billionario Manny Villar's Alday Marts and Metalines distributors will join the Services Index. To be taken out are Metro Retail Stores Group and Philippine 7 Corp. Lopez Holdings will be added to the Holding Firms Index, while Benguet will be dropped from the Mining and Oil Index. For the PSE Dividend Yield Index, Citicorp Energy Right Corp., Union Bank and Security Bank will replace Bank of the Philippine Islands, DDMP Right and Philinvest Right. FB News. San Miguel Food and Beverage, Inc. Ramon Ang to pursue all available legal remedies after CA denies San Miguel's TRO plea versus ERC order. San Miguel Corp. SMC said it would exhaust all available legal remedies after the Court of Appeals thumbed down its petition to nullify the Energy Regulatory Commission's order denying its request for a temporary rate adjustment. In a statement, SMC Global Power said it was pursuing all available legal remedies in line with its fiduciary duties to its stakeholders, to preserve our ability to provide stable power supply for consumers and forge ahead with new and existing projects aimed at helping secure our country's future power needs.
We remain confident that our government, through the judiciary, is one with us in promoting an environment where both consumers and industries collaborate in delivering on our country's energy goals and providing viable and shared solutions to address the ongoing power crisis, SMC Global Power said.
In a resolution dated January 13, the CA ruled that SMC Global Power subsidiary San Miguel Energy Corp. Failed to prove its right to a restraining order. However, another SMC Global Power unit, South Premier Power Corp., earlier secured a 60-day TRO from the 13th Division against the ERC order. This resulted in the termination of its power supply agreement on December 7, 2022. SECB News. Security Bank Corporation bullish. GSIS jacks up stake in Security Bank by 51% since Wick Veloso's takeover. The state pension fund is betting big on Security Bank of billionaire Frederick Dye. Government Service Insurance System, GSIS, has increased its stake by 51% in the country's 10th biggest lender after amassing a total of 14.335 million SECB shares from June to December 2022. SECB traded between P78 and P97 during the period. GSIS started its aggressive accumulation in SECB with the election of veteran investment banker Arnulfo Wick Veloso as president and general manager. GSIS stake is now pegged at 5.6%, which enabled it to surpass Social Security system, with 5.01%, as the third biggest investor in SECB with 5.6%.
CHP News. Cemex Holdings Philippines, Inc. Cemex shares surge after P2.1-B tender offer plan.
Investors loaded up on shares in Cemex Holdings, Philippines, Inc. after its parent company announced an offer to acquire more shares in the local unit to solidify its stake. Data from the Philippine Stock Exchange, PSE, showed trading of the cement manufacturer's shares reached 421.70 million worth P473.93 million from January 23 to 27.
The company's stock price closed at P1.18 on Friday, 42.2% up from the closing price of P0.83 the week before. Its share price has nearly doubled from its 61 centavo finish on December 29, 2022.
Globalink Securities and Stocks, Inc. head of electronic trading Mark Krisman v. Santorina attributed the stock's steep price increase to news of its parent company's tender offer. In a disclosure on the stock exchange, Cemex said that its parent company, Cemex Asian Southeast Corp. CASEC, plans to put up a voluntary tender offer of 1.614 billion outstanding common shares at P1.30 apiece. This means CASEC intends to hike its stake in Cemex to 89.86% through a P2.1 billion tender offer of up to 11.97% of the unit's issued and outstanding common shares. The tender offer is proposed to be conducted for the purpose of increasing and consolidating the bidders' CASEC interests in Cemex. The disclosure said. It also emphasized that it does not intend to delist Cemex in the local bourse. CASEC also plans to continue strengthening Cemex's asset portfolio in the region, which could mean an evaluation of strategic investments or divestments.
Meanwhile, Philstocks Financial, Inc. research analyst Claire T. Alviar said traders took advantage of a chance for short-term gains.
Following the tender offer report disclosure, Cemex surged immediately by almost 15% since Cemex's parent is willing to buy shares at a premium. Many traders took this opportunity to have a short-term gain of around 15% to 28%, depending on their entry price. However, this is only a good opportunity if you bought Cemex below the tender offer price of P1.30, Ms. Alviar said in an email.
The offer of P1.30 per share by CASEC translates to about a 51.2% premium over the January 23 trading price of P0.86 apiece. The disclosure added that the offer is a 68.5% premium over the one-month volume-weighted average price (VWAP) of P0.772 and a 64.5% premium over the one-year VWAP of P0.791.
The tender offer is scheduled on February 16 and will run until March 16. Meanwhile, the cross date for tendered shares will be on March 29 and will be settled the following day. Mr. Santorina foresees Cemex to post a P940 million net income for 2022 and P1.002 billion for 2023. The high demand for construction materials, driven by government infrastructure projects and the reopening of the economy, may lead to improved earnings for the company, Mr. Santorina said in a Viber message. Cemex posted a net loss of P552.07 million in the third quarter last year, a reversal of the P93.55 million net profit in the same quarter in 2021. This brought its 9-month net loss to P818.77 million, reversing the P897.22 million net income in the same period in 2021. Meanwhile, Ms. Alviar expects Cemex to stay at its current price level until the end of the tender offer period. After that, we may expect Cemex to decline or return around P1.00 since investors can no longer sell their shares to Cemex's parent at P1.30 per share. Moreover, we do not expect this transaction to impact Cemex's business operations significantly, she added. Ms. Alviar placed Cemex's support and immediate resistance levels this week at P1.00 and P1.20, respectively. For Mr. Santorina, Cemex will keep moving in the range of P1.10 to P1.25, and we could expect to see some support at P0.90 and resistance at P1.20. DMC News. DMCI Holdings, Inc. DMCI Homes Satori Residences to start turnover of first building in February.
Satori Residences, the newest residential development in Pasig City of Kansunji-led DMCI Homes, is set to welcome its first batch of residents next month.
DMCI said Satori Residences' first building, the 15-story Hakana, is already 90.86% complete. The tower is undergoing final touch-ups before its scheduled turnover in February. Located on 170 square meter lot, Satori Residences will have 5 buildings. Construction of the other 4 buildings Amani, Hakana, Lana, Rahu, and Yasu, is going full blast as well. The Lana building was 74.07% complete, Rahu 60.03%, Yasu 48.89%, and Amani 34.56% as of end 2022. Also scheduled for turnover this year is the Lana building, which is targeted to welcome residents in August. SM News. SM Investments Corporation. The billionaire Tsai family will aggressively expand its regional footprint with the construction of more malls, retail establishments, residential buildings and hotels. SM has been increasing its focus on provincial areas where local economies are growing faster. We are investing in the future growth of the Philippines as it continues to present tremendous potential, SM Investments Corp. President and Chief Executive Officer Frederick Dibuncio said. Our businesses are still operating in many highly underpenetrated sectors and we intend to serve Philippine communities in more regions nationwide, he added. Property development arm SM Prime Holdings is focused on further expanding its presence in the provinces, particularly to cover northern Luzon, Visayas and the progressive cities in Mindanao. SM Prime has 58 malls in the provincial areas and 24 malls in Metro Manila. SM Retail is also setting its sights on provincial areas where a good chunk of growing overseas remittances flow into. It operates over 3,300 department stores, groceries and specialty retail stores.
Residential arm SM Development Corp. SMDC is looking to further grow its footprint in the provinces to help narrow the housing gap. It hopes to capitalize on the country's young population, which is offering more growth opportunities as they enter and invest in real estate.
SMDC has 18 residential developments in key provincial cities as of 2022. To further boost tourism prospects in the province, SM also continues to invest in its hotels and conventions business, which at present operates 9 world-class properties situated in key cities nationwide.
The potential of the Philippines remains enormous with a young, energetic, service-oriented and still growing population. SM remains optimistic on Philippine growth driven by this market, Dibuncio said.
JFC News. Jollibee Foods Corporation Tan Kakshing led Jollibee, Chowking among Americans' favorite fast food chains. The Jollibee Group of the family of billionaire Tony Tan Kakshing has once again proven its might in the international scene, with 4 of its brands landing on Newsweek's list of America's favorite restaurant chains. Jollibee, Chowking, Smashburger, and the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, CBTL, ranked among America's best places to get fast food, according to a recent survey by American news magazine and website Newsweek in partnership with global data firm Statista. Jollibee was cited in the chicken category, Smashburger for burgers, CBTL for tea and coffee, and Chowking for Chinese cuisine category. We are honored that our brands are included in this list of most favorite restaurant chains in the United States, Jollibee Group President and CEO Ernesto Tanmantiang said.
We thank our customers for their continued support, resulting in this citation that inspires us even more in our mission of serving great-tasting food, bringing the joy of eating to everyone, he added.
The list was based on the results of an independent survey among over 4,000 customers and employees of restaurant chains in the U.S. The respondents were asked to indicate which restaurant chains they would recommend among 3 ethnic cuisines and 13 dish categories. A restaurant chain needed to receive a minimum number of recommendations and an overall score of at least 7 out of 10 to receive an award. It must have at least 3 locations across different cities within at least 2 U.S. states to qualify. Restaurant chains were rated using 9 assessment criteria: taste, cleanliness, hygiene and COVID-19 measures. transparency about ingredients, location, dealing with environmental issues, accessibility, service quality, and treatment of employees. EU East-West Banking Corporation Jerry Go, Joji Yap, John Goshinen. East-West Bank's top brass buy P180 million shares.
A Singaporean executive and two Goshenun siblings have expanded their holdings in East-West Banking Corp.
EU Chief Executive Officer designate Jerry Go bought a total of 19.9 million shares in the Goshenun-controlled bank at P6.5 on December 12. On the same day, EU Chairman Jonathan Goshenen and his sister, Director Josephine Joni Goshenen Yap, acquired 4.612 million shares each at the same price of P6.50. All three have roughly 1% share each in the bank. EU has gained 14% to PP7.40 since their stock purchases.